Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. Just a quick reminder to all of you who will be watching this video, please go to YouTube, like the video, make a comment, share the video. Most importantly, you share it because the more you share it, the more YouTube sees it as an important video to share to other people who haven't seen it. So with 500 people in the group, I guess we should have 500 shares, right? Hope we can get that. So you guys, please go. You can share it from Facebook to any social site. They have it. You just with one click, you can share it to all your social sites. So please, it doesn't matter whether anybody sees it on your site. It's important that you share it. You click the share, right? Because that will allow the Google search engine and the Facebook's, the YouTube search engine to share it more to other people. Thank you for that. Let's go. So some of the trades we took yesterday, if you were in the trading room with us, or if you saw the spreadsheet that we have where we record all the trades that were taken in the trading room, we took the sell on this yesterday here, and we closed it somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. I think we closed it last night somewhere there. So that is a very good trade booked. And what we would expect here today is what is the bigger picture of this doing right now. So yesterday we were saying we were in that consolidation. It's probably was going to come to this low. We thought it might come to this low and go back up, right? There's a possibility that that was one option. Once they broke the low and they consolidate, we sold it. Once we see that 1 hour consolidation there, I was in the trading room, we made the trade, and that was a trade that turned out to be, we saw that breaking the low and consolidating is a sell setup, great. Some traders took the trade from this level, which is the running flat, and the break of the running flat. So some traders took it from there, some traders took it from here. Either way, it's a wonderful trade. So now we'll go to what we're getting here now is a consolidation. And the bigger picture is it could probably go back up. So two things you're looking for. We're still in the correction, as you can see. One possibility is that this thing goes back up like this. 1, 2, 3. Just like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we get a 1, 2, 3 back to this top, and then we get the down move. That would complete a nice regular flat pattern that we know. Right? That is one option. The second option is this is all the correction you have. And this is just going down in a slow manner like this. We have seen that case where the first wave down is sharp. The first wave down is pretty sharp. But the next impulse down is kind of a, slow one with a lot of waves inside. So if we get a correction here today, we sell. If we get a buy setup, we take it. On the 1 hour, you're getting a very small buy setup forming right now. I don't think it's very aggressive because what it's doing here is it's starting to, if this goes here, break the top like that, come back here, we'd go for the sell. If it goes, break the top and make a flag, we'll buy it back to the top. So you want this to finish, make a correction, and then we'll look for the upside. So for the buy, you will have to wait for some kind of confirmation. But for the sell, which means if this goes a little back to that top, there's a running flat in here on the 15. I think you can see that. So we can look at this two ways. One, the correction is finished here in a contracting flat or triangular looking pattern. Two, and we're going down. This could be a sell setup. That's one option. The second option is this just crawls its way back to the top. And then we go with this, running flat and sell setup. So there are two options, two strategies of how we're going to trade this. Get into the trading room after the news event, and we would look for that trade. Two options for the sell if they make a running flat or if they make a smaller correction in here and decide to drop. For the buy, we'll have to wait for confirmation. So the buy is a longer process. You have to wait for it to complete what it's doing here, make an impulse up. This doesn't look like an impulse to the upside. So we don't have a buy setup as yet. Gold was a wonderful sell yesterday. You had two opportunities in selling the gold from the top here, which was this one. That was your first opportunity. This was your second opportunity, right? So two sells, perfect. I hope you close your trade here. You took profit. Where we are in the gold now, we're going sideways. And there's a high probability of this coming back to the top here. So we might end up getting a buy setup on the gold today. Let me take this out. That trade is finished. We might end up getting a buy setup on the gold today. If we see the consolidation in here, if this thing makes consolidation in here and we get a flag like that, we'll definitely be buying. If we get a setup on the gold, what we will see is maybe silver will make the impulse to the upside and start the consolidation. So most likely, if we're going to get a buy setup today, we're going to get it in gold. If we're getting a sell setup, we're going to get it in silver, right? Because this on the 15 minutes, if this is going to be a sell, this is just the one move up. So the sell will be, you'll have to look for some indication that you're making a sell setup, which we don't have here as yet. Dollar index, we broke the top. The question is, how high would it go now, right? We wanted it to break the top. We expect that to go. We had a perfect pattern here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This go up. They're consolidating here. If we stay in the consolidation, we're buying. Right? If they make a flag to drop, we could retest this low again, making a 1, 2, 3, and come back down. Now, I don't think we're making a 1, 2, 3 and come back down. I think it's going to be a much bigger daily corrective structure if we're going to make a corrective structure, or it's totally going up from this point. So on the 1 hour, we don't have any buy or any sell setup. Depending on what happens here, we might get a short-term sell setup. If it stays as a flag, we'll sell it. But if they work their way back to the top there, then we'll come down here, get a flat, and we'll be buying. So flag for a sell, a flat for a buy. Let's see which one we get at the top there. Euro, pretty much the same thing. Very nice drop on the euro. It was tough to get it to the sell setup on the euro, but it dropped. So we can wait to see if we get a buy setup on the euro here, right? If this stays within a flag range, we will look for a buy. If they come deeper as usual, go back up, we get a flat pattern, we would look for the sell setup. So the sell is definitely not today. The sell setup, if you're going to get a sell setup, is most likely tomorrow. But we will be in the trading room tracking it to see if there's a change in structure, right? Like we had a change in structure yesterday on the silver and we got a wonderful trade. If we get a change in structure, we'll sell it. Most likely it will be a flat for a sell, but a flag for a buy. So I think we have an entry order for to buy this already from the trading nation session this morning. And it's just an entry order. It's not tagged as yet. So we'll see. Pong kind of came down nicely. If you sold the Pong, if anybody sold the Pong, you had a second sell here, they dropped. We're making some consolidation here. I do think Pong is going to go up. We're looking at two possible options. This is a 1, 2, and we go back up for a 3 to this level. That's one option. Second option is this makes a more complex kind of a flat pattern, come back here and then go. So we'll end up with a bigger flat pattern here, something like that. We're looking for, most likely, we're looking for a buy setup. Could that change to a possible sell setup whereby this is all the correction and this thing is dropping? Well, then we will see the corrective structures forming here. If we start to see a lot of consolidation here, we'll go for the sell. Most likely it is going to go up, but we will keep our eyes out open for if it gives a sell setup, we'll consider a trade. It wouldn't be a great sell setup, but once they break the low, you'll get divergence, and that sell might be short-lived. Aussie, instead of breaking this to the upside, we drop. We did not get a sell there, and you will not sell that. There's no sell setup in the Aussie that you would pick, but it came to the low and it's going back up. So the question is here now, what are we looking at? Is this all the correction? Is that all the correction? We know it was going to go up, come down, but I thought they would probably break the top first and then come down. They didn't, so we'll go with a contracting flat. We will treat this as a contracting flat for now. Right, take this off. The whole correction is a contracting flat. We're coming down. We didn't break the low. We tagged it. I think we tagged the low. Let me see. Yeah, we did tag the low. So that could be a reversal point. If you're looking at a flat that tags the low and go back up, this could be it. We could be turning back here from now to the upside, make a new high, because we're in an uptrend, right? Or we can consolidate here and drop one more. For the consolidation and the sell, see, this was a contracting flat, pretty similar structure. This is a contracting flat. We got a contracting flat in the middle here, right? So we can look, if we get a buy setup, we'll absolutely take the buy. You can see all the buys are impulses to the upside. So if we get a buy setup, we'll take it. If they consolidate instead of a buy setup, we will look for the sell. So what would be the difference? Let's go and look at it now. What we want to see is this piece go up some more and make a flag here. That would be a buy setup. If we get a flag, we'll buy. If instead of going up, they stay right where they are, which means this thing right here, come back here and start to do this. Right? If we get more of a consolidation here, we'll look for a sell. I don't think the sell will be today. The sell will likely be tomorrow, the day after, when you have a solid consolidation. But the buy could be today if we get it. If we get a flag here, we'll get the buy today or tomorrow, we'll see. New Zealand, perfect sell setup. You didn't have to sell the Aussie. The reason we did sell the Aussie because it didn't break the top. The reason we sold the New Zealand is because we broke the top and we were making a running flat. So this one was easy to take the trade. Perfect trade. We dropped to this level. You can either do two things in the trading room, which we normally do how you manage trade. One is you close it and you put the second entry here. Or the second one is you just keep the trade for one more drop. I think we might get just about one more drop, right? We might get one more drop, break the low, show you divergence, and up we go. So if you're going to take this trade, you'll have to be quick at managing the trade, get the hell out of it, look for the upside if it doesn't break through. Can they break through the low? Yep, there is one pattern that we know that allows it to break through this low and go to the bottom, making an expanding flat before they go up. There's a 90% chance of this going back up because we broke the top. So we're expecting it to be either a running flat or an expanding flat. For traders who are watching this on YouTube for the first time, have no idea what I mean by those flat patterns, just take a look for the whole week. You have the whole week to watch all the videos and get yourself acquainted with what we do, right? So let's see this. See all these patterns here making up, up. I think we're going to come here, not break the low. I'm looking for more of a running flat. But if it becomes a, if it becomes an expanding flat, we're all for that because we're in the trade, right? So let's see if we get that one more move down here today, drop one more, and then we'll look for buy setups. So we might get the buy setups today. We might get the short sell as well as we might get a buy setup today. So today should be amazing like yesterday. Yesterday we took 4 trades in the trading room and they were all amazing. Very good trades. I'll show you them as you go. One is the silver. Those are the 4 that we registered, right, in the trading room. There were some people sold the gold, some people sold euro. We didn't put those in because those were individual traders making individual trade. We were talking about trades that we would call in the trading room itself, right? So yen was a trade call in the trading room. I'm not sure whether I should show this publicly, but this is one of the things we do when we're in the trading room. 15-minute trade. Remember, some of you remember, I took this one and closed it for break even. We all took this in the trading room Friday. We were in the trading room. We closed it for positive, right? We took this yesterday. So it's the same kind of setup in the 15 minutes, which means you see the impulse, you see the pullback, and you decide, I'm going to take this trade. So what I told the guys, we will take this. It's either going to go slow like this, and we'll close it for positive, or it's going to take off like a rocket. Left the room, it took off like a rocket. So great. Most of the traders closed their trades already for profit, either on this pullback or on this one. And that is the best thing to do if you did that. If not, we're making a big flat at the top here. That means we're going to go up. So what we have a move down and a move up, and we get a 1, 2, 3 down. I think we should get a move up. We should get a move down, and then we should take off. If we stay with that flat, this would be a perfect buy. So if we get that flat pattern that we're expecting, we will be in the buy. What you're expecting is a consolidation here now. Now that you have your impulse out of this structure, you need your consolidation here. Come here, go back there, and then this would be a perfect buy setup. If we get that today, we'll all be in the trade. So let's see if we get that. Swiss went up. If you managed to buy here, you did well. That was a nice running flat. It didn't drop. We were expecting this to drop one more and break the low, right? So yesterday we were expecting they probably drop here, break this low, and then go back up, right? That didn't happen. So now what we have is a bigger consolidation. We have a huge, that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was take off this arrow here, right? So let me just take that off. So now we have a big consolidation here. And by itself, that is not fitting into the pattern that we were looking for. So what we'd have to do is we'll have to relook at all the patterns today in the trading room, and we'll relook at this one because it's going up, but it's still, as you can see, in consolidation. We will look for a sell setup here today. So if we see this consolidating within this range, not breaking the top, we'll look for this sell trade back to this low and then breaking out of it, make a new low, and then go back up. So this might become a very good sell. Can it become a buy setup, which means they go break higher rather than drop, right? Rather than this thing coming down, could it be that I'm looking at a 1 to probably come back here for a 3. And then if they go down, we'll be sellers. But what if they go up and break the top? Well, nothing you can do with that trade. This is not the best buy right now because of where it is. But we have a better buy, which would be the Cad Dollar. See? So the Cad Dollar was a buy yesterday on the contracting flat. Remember, we looked at this as a possible contracting flat. It could have probably dropped one more, but if you put your entry order above that flat, you got the trade. We're making another consolidation here, but this might be very short-lived. This is a trade setup, but it might just do this and come right back down. Why? Because we're looking at the bigger picture. And we had this previously. If you remember, I showed you, copied it in the trading room. We copied this. We brought it down. That was last Friday. And we said, what if they're repeating this here? Then we'll end up at a big running flat. We test the low and then start the daily correction to the upside. Now, this first impulse on the daily correction would be 700 plus pips. So if you know how to trade it, you can get at least 500 plus pips out of that trade. That is, of course, if you know how to trade it. If you don't know how to trade it, well, then we can't help you. You have to understand. If you want to know why we think it's going to go down and go back up, if you're not, remember, this is going to be for the general public, right? So those of you who don't know, contact us. We'll tell you how to learn to do that stuff. So we're looking for the downside, and then we'll be starting a very deep daily correction. Aussie yen. Aussie yen came down. We finally might have got this impulse we were looking for. We're looking for that. And if I take this out, maybe we finally got it. Right? We were expecting that. We've got a sharp move and we wanted a big flat, and we assumed that that would be a big running flat. Seems like we're correct about a big running flat. So let's see what happens in here now. We dropped to this level. You have to be careful with this piece. We were thinking that they could make a big flat in here, but that might not happen because they drop much lower. And if they drop much lower, instead of a flat in there, we will look for a contracting flat or something. It's still possible we get a running flat. It's very still possible they go back up, come here, and then go. Right? We'll keep an eye out for that. But at some point, this thing is probably going to end and go back up, because you can see this pattern is very likely what we think it is. What if we're wrong about that pattern? And this is a contracting flat here. That was the end of the structure, and we're actually going back now to make the deeper correction. Right? Because we're going to make a deeper daily correction before we go up. Either this is it, or we're now starting it. Right? I think every one of you understand what I'm trying to say. So what we're going to do here now is look for reversal points, even if it is going to be an impulse to the upside and then downside. I wouldn't be surprised if we get this. Right? If we get this here and then come back here and then go. So we would look for a buy setup. You probably don't want to sell this anymore. You want to look for buy setups. If we get a buy setup, we'll take it. If we're going to get sell setups, we'll take it on the Aussie dollar or on another Aussie trade. Right? Aussie Swiss, well, finally it came down because it wasn't making a lot of sense, and we're still in a big correction. You can see that, right? This thing is still a big correction. So right now, this looks like a big flat for upside. See this one? We had this big flat here, and then they make a bigger one here, and then we had this big flat here, and then we expect that to go up, and it did go up. So I think this is a big flat for upside. I don't see this as an impulse to the downside, so we'll put it like this. The problem we have here is that we have a sharp wave there. I think all of you can see that, right? And we have, in the sharp wave, we have a ton of correction here. So this dropping here just fulfilled this one pattern. What we need is a sharp one up here, come back down there, and then that is a perfect trade for the upside. See that? So we're going to be looking for this buy setup here today. We'll be looking for that sell setup tomorrow. Then we'll be looking for this to the upside. Right? The sell here is almost finished. We broke the low. So what we'll be looking for is, do we get a buy? We might not even get a trade here because the range is very small. By the time you get the setup, by the time you get the entry, and where you're going to exit, the range is very small. We might not get a trade. So we'll ignore the trade here, but we'll take the trade on any other pattern that we see have the buy setup. So if we get a buy setup here today, we'll look for it. It could drop a little more. We don't want to sell it anymore. This is not good risk to reward for the sell. If they're going to break down totally, which I don't think they're going to do, they'll have to break through the low before I decide I'm going to buy. Sell, sorry. Aussie CAD. It's going sideways, nothing new. We're definitely not making that because this one is pretty big, right? You can see this correction here is big. So we're making some kind of a bigger flat pattern here. I'll put it probably like this. And it looks like they're now going up. They're making another correction here, right? So you get one, you get a correction, you get another drop, you get a correction, you get another drop, and then we'll look for upside. Pretty easy, right? W, X, Y, X, Z, and then we'll look. So stay away from it. You might get a short-term buy setup, but better things, stay away from it. Aussie, New Zealand, no buy setup. And I don't like the sell setup. We don't have any good sell setup here. It might go one more. If you look at it, there's a possibility for a flag and one more drop. Limited. So you can consider if you want that trade, but I think it's limited. So we'll stay out of this one. Euro Oz. Okay, so we go back to the top. What are we doing right now? This is all we have. And this here does not look like the impulse to the downside. So if we make an assumption that this is a corrective part of the structure, all right, let's just make an assumption that this is a correction. Then we have a very, very complex pattern in the making. We still haven't broken the low. We still haven't broken the low of the structure. And we haven't broken the top of the impulse. We've got to move up. We've got a nice consolidation down. We've got to move up. We've got a nice consolidation down. Looks like we're heading for a move up. I think like this. So this might be the first flat pattern, and we'll probably get a move down, another impulse, and then drop. So it is likely that we're just going to be stuck sideways here for a long time. And if we get a buy setup here, we'll take the trade. All right, we can't sell this as yet, but if we get a buy setup here, we can take the trade. It's a short trade. As you can see, they are not really going anywhere. Euro New Zealand, this one went up. It was a nice buy, actually. We broke out, and this is a running flat. And if you took the running flat, you did well. It's making another correction here. You'll probably get another trade up. So what we look for is if this makes a nice consolidation here, this is a trade to the upside. You probably want to wait for the consolidation. Remember this one here, this consolidation with that trade going. So you might get a similar thing here. That is if we get the consolidation, right? EuroCAD. Yep. So we broke the top and nothing because we're still left with this is the 1, 2, 3 flat, and we still left with divergence here. So I say the EuroCAD, we stay out of it. There might be a buy setup here, but that is after you've got another big flat. You just had a big flat here and you're getting another big one here. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? I don't think this thing is going to be very impulsive to the upside. So I say we rather stay out of this and trade something else that has a better move to the upside. Euro Yen. It's coming down some more. I think we might drop one more and then we'll look for the buy setup. See? There's a good chance we're looking at it, we're keeping our eyes in it. So there's a good chance they'll probably, just drop one more and then we'll get a trade to the upside. Do we want this sell setup? I don't think it's a great idea. If you like the idea, you can sell it, but I don't think that's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, it's maybe the last piece in the impulse down, which is going to just tip the low and then turn to the upside. Euro Swiss. Okay, so we're coming down, nothing new here. See that? So we'll make the assumption that that is all we get for the running flat. Perfect. Look for a sell setup here today. Why would you want that sell setup? Because we're coming down way back to this level. Right, the assumption is that we made this. We made that up. Remember this piece here when we said this is probably going to go break the top. They broke the top. So now you've got this pattern. Sorry, let me take this out. Now you've got this pattern here, which I think we can look for as this. Right, with this being this piece, whole piece here being the flat. So you get an impulse, a correction, an impulse, and you're doing this now. We got an impulse, a big running flat. So this is a good trade back to the low. I think this is an amazing trade if we get this today. It could go very fast. Sometimes trades like that take days to go, but this one is already dropped. It's consolidated. I think the trade is ready to go. Put an entry order under the low. I would trade it like this, and this is how I would trade it. This is not a trade call for any one of you. This is how I would trade it because I think it's a running flat, and I would aim for the low. That is how I would take the trade. Now, that could change from now until we get into the trading room if there is a structural change. I would change that. I would change where the entry is and where the stop is, but not exactly the trade to the downside, because I still think that trade to the downside is very valid. Unless there's a really structural change, pattern change in what I see, and I said, you know what, this is not right. So we know we're in the trading room, we look at the patterns all the time. So this would be a good trade. I like it. Euro pound. Yeah, we're looking for the sell. It's not ready as yet. I think we're still looking like we're trying to go up some more. This piece still looks like it could, probably make a new high. We'll wait for a sell setup. I'm not keen on the buy here. I'm more keen on the sell setup. Pound yen. Pound yen may give you one more low, and then I think we'll be ready for the upside. We might be breaking out already. They kind of make a flag here, drop, pull back. They're dropping, so I wouldn't be surprised if this drops to about that level and then turn to the upside. There is like one last piece in this for a sell. Just ignore it. If you think it's going to fall big time, pick another pound trade or another yen trade for a sell. I think we're going to go up very much. So once we break out of this structure and drop to that level, we're going to go back up. Pound Oz. It's going sideways. It did what we expected to do. This came down. Now you get 1, 2, 3. We expect this to go down back. And now we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and then we look for the upside. Right? Because this would be your first move up. And you're going to expect this to happen. So let's see if we get that trade. Cad. It's breaking out, but I don't think they're going anywhere. We will probably look at this just as a bigger correction. Take this off. Look at this more like a bigger correction with a flat in the middle here. Take this off and take this off. I'm just taking them off so they don't disturb. That is very valid trade. So you get a move down, you get a move up, you get a 1, 2, 3, you get a move up, you get a 1, 2, 3, you get a move 1, 2, 3. So somewhere along here, we're going to look for a trade to the downside and then go. So there's a number of three-way patterns forming here now, and I think we have the flat in the middle. So let's see if we get that structure that way. That would be good. You can actually buy here. There's like a buy setup here right now, but it's very short term. There's a buy setup here, but this could be very short term. They may just come here and then drop again. So we look at this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for this one. Let me just correct that. We're in the third one here now. 1, 2, 3. So this might go up a little more here, and then we're going to look for downside and then the big upside. If we get this trade today, we'll take it. We'll try to manage it to break even. Pound Swiss, it's coming down. I think we might be completing 1, 2, 3. We look for an upside. That will give us 1, 2, 3. Look for a downside. We'll get 1, 2, 3, and then go. All the pound trades have that pattern, except Pound New Zealand, right? Pound New Zealand does not have. We're making a low here. Is it a possibility we're going up from that point? I think we'll break the low first. They don't have to break the low, but it would be nice if they break the low. So let this drop one more, break the low, and then we look for the upside. If we get a flag here, we can consider the buy. Not a flag, right? If we get a flag only, consider the buy. New Zealand yen, perfect. We took this trade also in the trading room, and it's going. I think some of the traders closed their trade, some of the traders still in the trade. That is okay. Both options are possible, right? You can close the trade, take profit, or you can still be in that trade and let it go, right? So we were looking for this. Some of us closed the trade here. If you didn't, then you're expecting this to drop one more. And at this point, we'll see for the upside. Remember, the New Zealand also has like one more move down and then upside. So we might get a buy today, and the buy here is going to be much better than those two trades. Amazing buy if we get it. Now, again, let me just warn the people who are watching this. A lot of people will be watching this video maybe after the fact, right? They will watch it when the buy move is already finished. If you see it when it's already finished, what you need to do is go back to when the video was before that move happened, watch it and see how it happens. Now you will have to have a specific strategy on how you're going to trade these things. What you're seeing here today is just my view of a direction of where it's going to go, right? You haven't seen my full analysis of how we look at each pattern separately. I'm not doing that detail in here. We do that in our trading room. You also don't see what is the strategy I'm using to trade this, right? So if you're watching it, these are not trade calls. These are just giving you view of how we identify the direction, and you can see whether they work or not. From yesterday to today, if you're following me, you made at least 3 good trades. That's it. That's the point. If you have a big account, those 3 good trades will pay for the course. So watch for this to drop here, and then we're looking for the upside. And if you get these 3 good trades going up, you can definitely pay for the course. New Zealand Swiss. It's coming down, and we think this is going to be a big flat for upside. We think we're making a 1, we're making a 2, we'll probably make a 3, and then we're going to totally go up, right? So let's see if we get a flag here today, drop to this level, and then totally upside. This one might be a bigger sell, and the reason we think this thing is going to go up because we've been looking at this pattern for a while. We've made a big move up, we're making a big flat here, and I think we're just making a correction here to go, right? This would just be a correction, maybe just come and tag the low because we didn't break the top. A little correction here, and then drop, tag the low, and then total upside. That is the trade you want, right? Now, can it be more complex than that before it go? Oh, yes, it can be. So if you're watching me again, and we change that structure because there's a pattern change during the day, you will not see that, right? So you will not know. What if this is a contracting flat and they're going right now? You will not see that. We will be in the trade with the buy as long as we see it in the room. Because from now to New York session, this thing will change. Either we get a flat and we sell it, or we actually get the buy. New Zealand CAD. So we're in the same one, very big move. I think this might just keep going up. I still think this is a big one. We're trying to break out of the daily structure. And there is a likelihood we are going to break out of that daily structure, right? There's a very good likelihood that this is just going to continue to go. So we can look for buy setups. I think we have a very good consolidation here now going on. Let's see. Yep, we can make an argument for running flat. We tried to do that yesterday, whether we can make an argument here for running flat and then upside. This might be too small. So there might be a sell setup here today dropping. I think we can go for this sell. It might not be a big one, so you'll have to manage your way out for break even if it's a very small one. And then we can see whether this is going to make an attempt for the upside again. We'll probably put it to some kind of a running flat, and then we'll see if it goes. So keep your mind open on this one. Even if you don't want to sell it, let it drop, and then we'll look for the buy. Cad Swiss, perfect. It's going to go more. This is easy. The drop there is going to drop more. It's going to drop beyond this low. Why beyond this low? Let me just show you. Yeah, it's going to drop lower. You can expect them to drop beyond this low. So look for sell setups. Let's see if we have any sell setup there today. I don't see anything clearly to sell. Right? You can see that it's not giving. We have the first impulse up here. I want this to come back here, go back there, and then we'll get a sell setup. Give us a flat, and then we'll get a sell setup. How long it's going to take to do that, I have no idea. Swiss yen. All the yen pairs, we were expecting this to go back up some more, but I don't think it's ready. We've got a deep pull back into this. See? This went up nice, but then they're making a deep pull back. So if we get a flat looking pattern here, come here, go back up there, and then come here, this would be a buy setup. Under 15, you'll probably see that. See? We've got to move up, and we're going sideways. So we want this to probably come here, go back there, drop to this level, and then we can look for that trade-off. So let's see if we get that possibility today. Mexican dollar, Mexican, no, not that one, sorry, Mexican. If you put the entry order, you got the trade, you probably took profit. Let's see if they consolidate here. We'll look for more buys. Right, this will be a bigger consolidation of the flag. It's getting a flag for a sell, but I don't think we want that sell as yet. You can keep your eyes on it. If it's remain a flag, it's going to be a sell. If it goes up a bit, goes up deeper for a flat, we'd look for a buy setup. This was a buy setup here too, and this is going really sharp. So Where can this go? I think we can get a big, we did this in the trading room as well. I think there could be a big move up here, right? Okay. So this was what I was telling the guys, take off that. That was an internal for our usage, is how you can work on a chart. If you haven't seen that in the trading room, you should join me. I'll try to record that today. Right. So we broke both lows. We have divergence. We were expecting this to go back up, and it's going very nice. So if you get a flag here or a flat, we'll take a trade. Both flags and flats could be trade setups. Cadian, it's dropping a lot. I really don't get what we're going to do with this one, because this one is messing with us. It's dropping quite a lot, and we haven't broken that top. We want to sell on this thing, but we just wanted to first break the top now because it went up. And if it went up, it should break the top before they go. It's not going to break the top and drop. We're going to have a little problem here, but we can trade it, which means from here we'll watch if we look for 1 hour flats, not flags, or a 4-hour correction before we go. So if you want to trade it now, what we wait for is if they make a bigger correction here, and this would be the trade setup. We'll come back to look at the top of that correction, why we didn't break the top. Most likely, I don't think it's going to be, it's a running flat, but I don't think, you wanted to always break the top for confirmation. But we look for the trade down. If we get the trade set up from here, we'll take it and we'll go with that one. US oil, it came down, so we're looking for a buy setup. We didn't get that. The sell was a little dangerous, and if you took the sell, you got break even. You see that? So let's say you sold it here and it dropped. It dropped like this, it immediately started to pull back. I don't think you'll close the trade because if you sold it, you're expecting them to go much lower. They came back, you put it to break even, you're taking out for break even. So probably wait. Don't trade this as yes. Wait until it's settled and we get a clear pattern, and then we'll trade. This one was a sell. We called it sell on this because we said, this is going down. If you want, you can take this sell. It might go a little, it might go fast. We don't know whether it's going to go fast or slow. It went up a little. I think we're still here. We'll see whether we get another sell setup or whether we get an up move. Right now, you don't have anything there. Natural gas, you can sell. We're still looking for sells, and it's still going to go break this low. So you'll have another sell setup here. It breaks the low, then we look for buy setups. Okay, so we dropped a little on this one. Nothing new here. And now we're pulling back. So that's okay. We can expect this to go back up, right? We might be doing this. I think all of you are watching this. We discussed this in the trading room very much detail. Whether we're making a running flat here or one more up and then the downside. Take this off. One more up and then the downside. So this pattern actually worked well. It's a little more strange than we expected, but it worked well. So what we're going to do here now is if we get a buy setup, we'll take the trade. Which means you want an impulse and you want a correction. I think we've got ourselves an impulse. Can this drop more? It can drop more. They'll consolidate and drop. But if we make a flag here only, we're definitely buying. And if we get a flag set up there, we'll buy. If they're going to go down more, then they'll probably drop here, go back up, make a flat, and then we'll get one more trade to the downside. And we will take the sell because we don't know that this is we don't know that this would be the running flat. There's an option for that running flat. There's an option for this running flat. See the bigger running flat here. So there's an option for both of them that exit. So if we get the sell set up, we'll absolutely take it. If we get a buy setup, we'll consider it, but most likely we're going to take it. So it depends on whether you get a correction as a flag here or whether they start to make a flat. Drop low or make a flat, then that changes the dynamics. DAX went down nice. That was a sell setup, but it didn't go. I thought they'd break the top first. I was expecting this to probably break the top first and then come down. That would have been a better trade. But this is only correction. This is a correction, not a correction. They drop I don't know if you get that trade because that one will be hard to get. Now that we broke that level, what are we looking at? Let me take this out. We're expecting the downside, but I thought they'll break that up first, then come. So now we're breaking down, and if we're breaking down, we could literally go very much to the downside. See that? We could literally go very much to the downside. Every sell setup we get here, we'll take. Right? Every sell setup we get there, we'll take. Yeah, we don't have a sell setup as yet. But if this thing consolidates here, we'll go with the trade. There's a very small flag there if you want to sell it. Sell it. You just have to have the strategy to trade that very small one. I don't think it's ready. I'll give it a flag before we go. Sell. This is still a sell. Perfect if you got the sell from there. It gapped, so it's a sell setup here also for more downside. This is forming a buy setup here. If this goes out, that's a buy. And this one is nothing. Just stay away from it. If you sold yesterday, you got break even. Yep. This is going down. Right? It's going down slowly. If they break out of this structure, we'll consider the buy. Perfect. I hope you guys got the sell, right? Expanding flat. We looked at that. I hope you got the sell. Those who are trading Nifty. Hope you got the sell. Look for more sell setups. It's a big correction to the downside, right? See? This was a big move up, and this should be a big move down like this. So I hope you got the sell and look for more sell setups. Let's see. If we get a consolidation here, and you probably will get on, sell. This is a sell, and it's probably still a sell. Let's see the big picture. Yeah, it's still a sell. Reliance, still a sell. Reliance didn't go anywhere, right? They did break this piece, come here, but once they dropped beyond that, that became the sell setup because this would be the flat in it. Right? Once they drop beyond that level, you look for a sell. We need a flag here now. If you get a flag, that would be good. So they go up, we get an expanding flat, similar to this, expanding flat here. This was an expanding flat also. They dropped. So what you look for now, any flag or correction you get there, you sell. They're going back down. And Bitcoin dropped. So we broke the structure. I thought they'll make one more up here. This is not good. We thought this would probably come back to the top here and then drop. Well, it didn't go. So let's see what we have in this. It's still in a correction, right? This is still a big correction. So that didn't crawl up. We're going lower. Take this off. We're going to drop one more and then go. We can easily do this. Let this come one more down. Test the low. Test this low, and then we look for the upside. So if you're looking for a buy, you didn't get it. The sell, you didn't miss very much. No need to worry. Right, this is going to probably go a little more down. I think we had two of them that had sell setups, right? So wait for consolidation, sell it. XRP also didn't go to the top, right? We thought this would come here and then drop. Well, they actually dropped. The problem with this is how far would this drop, right? It just needs to break that low to fulfill this pattern and then go back up. So we didn't get this, take that off, they dropped the low. You're not missing anything on the sell either. So the sell is not the key one that we're looking for. We're looking for the upside. So this thing either turns here now, this is over. We took that out too. This thing either take that out. It either turns from where it is right now, very soon, because we broke the low, or we get one more down and then we're looking for the upside. We're definitely looking for the upside, right? Not the downside in this. So if we get this, just similar to this one, you get this, and you look for one more trade up. See? So let's see. Let's go back to the 1 hour and see if we get that trade. Not exactly the way we expect the turning to happen, but we can keep an eye on it. ETH, okay, this one is expected to drop, right? Because of the pattern, you've got a sharp move down and you're getting a correction. That means you can drop one more down. I want to see where the big picture is. Yep, this could come down much more. This is the only one that shows signs of much more downside than where we are right now. So I'll be very careful. If we get any sell setup here, we'll take it. So this was a slow downside. We'll put the top to be this one. Yeah, breaking out a little. So look for sell side setup here. Can we get a buy setup from there? Not as yet. Same thing. Look for sell setups. Wait for a flag. We put an entry order and we get a sell. I think that's about it. We've covered all the cryptos. There are two of them that are definitely showing you downside. One of them is this one. We spoke about this since last week. That this is showing you total downside. And you're getting total downside from this one. So these two are showing big downside coming. But XRP and Bitcoin is not showing you big downside. They're showing you correction to the downside. So we'll just have to wait and see which one moves faster. If you're selling, sell the ones that has possible big down move. Because if they drop suddenly, you're going to get a better advantage of getting the trade there. Okay. So all of you get to the trading room, trade. Please, when these videos are out, go share them from YouTube. And hope to see all of you there. The people who are watching it on YouTube, you can share it to your friends if they like it, if they understand what we do. If they don't, they can join us online. Right? We'll have 1 week free video, and then after that, we'll probably do a course in 2 weeks' time. If you're interested, ping me, Skype me, and I'll give you the details. I think everybody knows how to find me in Skype, right? I'll do a short video and tell them how to find me in Skype. So everybody take care. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the trading room. All right, the sessions in the trading room are amazing, so I want to see you guys there. Take care. Bye-bye.